Okay, here we go. So, Elen Ghulam is the author of Spoonful Chronicles, which tells the story of a woman who is on a mission to unlock the secret of her destiny by remembering everything she has ever eaten. Oh, I don't think I could ever do that. It'd be like a giant book. Ellen is an Iraqi Canadian living in Vancouver. She is a passionate blogger at ihalf.com. Please welcome Ellen.
I will read to you from a chapter called Hummus. An earthquake of guilt rumbles through my spine, sending shock waves down my neurotransmitters. Each time I make hummus, memories of eating it at Abu Shunshi's in the old city of Jerusalem tremor forth. I see a reflection of middle-aged men sweating on top of shallow circular plastic buckets filled with chickpeas. The lugum is about to be mashed by hand in lemon juice, olive oil, and tahini sauce with a vigor to rival any seismic activity. A black and white framed picture of the family patriarch is yellowing under the strain of exposure to kitchen steam. That must be Mr. Abu Shunshi himself. He stares down on his descendants, looking assured. The family recipe is handed down father to son without the corrupting influence of innovation. At Abu Shunshi's, only men are allowed to make hummus. The Shunshi women contribute by chopping hot chili peppers and onions, presented as appetizer. Hairy Palestinian men making beige mush by application of physical force without the aid of modern technology. Altogether, very sexy. It is said that prostitution is the oldest trade in human history. If you are lucky enough to taste Abu Shunshi's hummus, you will forget facts and swear upon your honor that hummus making is the older yet. In my kitchen in Vancouver, hummus erupts out of a food processor, lacking the advantage of heritage. No ancient spirit guides my hand as I press the pulse button. It began 4 years ago. Sameh and I were drinking our morning coffee, exchanging a sweet nothing conversation. An easy, relaxed feeling hung in the air. Yesterday was our annual corporate meeting, said Sameh. During the lunch break, Derek, our corporate sales rep to the Middle East, said that he had traveled all over the Arab world, sampling every fine food and delicacy the region has to offer. But the best hummus he ever had was, I interrupted Sameh. Certain, I knew the answer. Abu Shunshi's in Jerusalem. No, Sameh smiled. I know, Abu Fandushi in the old city. This had been Sameh's favorite joint when he lived in Jerusalem. Sameh waved his hand and shook his head. And that dinky old place in Ramallah with Arafat's picture on the wall. He said the best hummus he had ever in this whole entire life is the one that my wife makes. I gasped in horror. Me? My hummus? Sameh beamed, brimming with pride, like he was directly touching greatness, like he was that naked dude painted in the Sistine Chapel, eternally pointing a reluctant finger he had admired by millions for centuries. How could a food processor compete with history and big burly men earnestly hunch over buckets of boiled chickpeas? It seemed obscene. No, downright blasphemous. The romantic side of me wants to believe in sacredness of a bean from the Holy Lands. How ruthless is reality. At first, I felt a smoldering of happiness. This was soon replaced with panic. Oh no, what if my only accomplishment in life is that I made hummus exceptionally well? I thought to myself. I always hoped that my claim to fame would be a poem, even among dishes. If I could choose a recipe to be famous for, I would choose something sophisticated, not hummus. Wild duck in fasanjoon sauce comes to mind, a recipe that combines pomegranate juice, crushed walnuts, and the seductive taste of saffron. That is a dish one can spend a lifetime perfecting. After 20 years of experimentation, I would present it to the round table of family and friends, chest pumped up with pride, and say, "Ta-da! Here it is, my prized creation." While you eat, I shall recite a poem I wrote. The tragic taste would meld eternally with the majesty of language. We would all cry collectively with beautiful anguish right into our food. The most human moment ever experienced. Hummus doesn't lend itself to this type of drama. What romance can you squeeze from a dip? A sense of foreshadowing came over me. Such a pedestrian dish. What is to become of me? I took a deep breath. I shrugged and offered my hands to the sky. Oh well, you can't choose what you impress people with. Better hummus than nothing. It is very Middle Eastern of me to submit to my destiny. Which brings me to my first and most important rule of eating. Food is like sex. When it's good, it's real good. And when it's bad, it's better than nothing. And thus, my hummus acclaim grew. At a party after party, people asked me to bring my famous dish. Praise followed proclamation that included words such as best ever and divine. I wrote down the recipe on napkins and scraps of paper when besieged. I didn't turn out, I heard afterwards. It wasn't as good as yours, came the response. Maria from work had the gall to accuse me of giving her the wrong recipe on purpose. You don't want anybody else to have your title of Queen of Hummus, she said, while munching on a chicken breast at the office year-end party. A pulsating bolt of icky feeling churned through my stomach upon hearing this. If only she knew how I wished my hummus reputation away. I promptly invited Maria to come over on a Saturday afternoon so that she could watch me make it live to prove there are no hidden secrets in the making of it. Afterwards, I got so many requests for a live demonstration, I recorded a video and uploaded it to YouTube. I sent people the link to the video instead of inviting them to my kitchen. I thought that would end the curiosity. I hoped that everybody would learn to make their own version and I would be left alone. My How to Make Hummus from Scratch video has received 50,000 views today and has gotten comments from as far away as Japan and as close as Seattle. Still, there was no peace. How do you get the consistency to be both liquid yet fluffy at the same time, I was asked. What magic do you conjure into the food? Just yesterday, a patient shrieked with delight when I entered her room. "Oh my God, I can't believe it! Hummus lady!" I was taken aback. "Excuse me? You are hummus lady! In the video, you saved my marriage!" The skinny young woman looked at me with awe, as if I was a deity of some sort. This understuffed scarecrow told me that she had married an Egyptian. They had been fighting for months. Finally, he told her it was over and walked away. She accidentally found my video on YouTube and decided that instead of eating a tub of ice cream, she would make a tub of hummus. When her husband came home to pick up his things, he encountered a plate of hummus. One taste led to another. His wife found him licking the plate clean. She sat down at the table without a word. Her husband began to cry. This tastes exactly like the hummus I used to get in the public market of Alexandria, he told her. They talked things over, cried together, and decided to fight to stay together. Experts might tell you that a marriage should be based on respect and shared values. But if you listen to Tanya Russell, you would forgo all of that and entrust your life partnership to a flatulence-inducing liberal. I suppose marriages have been based on Sharia grounds. This must be the mushiest. Why don't you make more videos? Asked the woman. I shrugged. I'm not sure cooking is my forte. Oh, it is. There is magic in these hands. She grabbed both my hands as if rubbing invisible lotion into her own hands. I want to tell her, leave your husband. He is an asshole. But instead, I grabbed her chart and focus on the medical task at hand. I could hear my stomach rumbling. I have been fasting for 2 weeks. Now I will have to fast for 2 more to atone for the sins I have committed against Scarecrow Woman. I wish I had the courage to apologize to her, not about the needle prick, but about the wooden stake I unwittingly wedged into her life with my stupid hummus. So, how this book started, I made a hummus video and uploaded it on YouTube. And it got tens of thousands of views. And I got back responses from people from all over the world. And some of them had absolutely nothing to do with food. Like some of them were things like, "You've changed my life. I eat differently because of you." And other like totally crazy and historical things, right? So all of this somehow, all these experiences sat in my mind and kind of got filtered through my imagination. And I was working on a completely different novel, a much more serious novel. And one day, I found myself, instead of working on my novel, I wrote a short story about a woman having an existential crisis about her hummus recipe, which ended up being this chapter. And I thought, well, this is funny. Put it on the side. Went back to writing my very serious novel. And then suddenly I found myself writing a very dark, deep story about falafel, about this woman who hates falafel and hates people who like falafel and hates the fact that people expect her to like falafel. I just went in a totally hysterically dark direction. I thought, well, this is funny. I finished writing it, put it aside, went back to writing my novel. And then halfway through writing a marriage that's falling apart over a shakshuka recipe, where a shakshuka is you fry some onions and then you add eggs and you steam, you poach the eggs in the tomato sauce. And the whole marriage is like falling apart, where the husband insists this is the right way to make it, the wife is insisting no, this is and of course it's not really about shakshuka, it's really about something else, right? They have other issues that they're not discussing. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna write a whole novel like this. It's gonna be all like this. It's all gonna be about food. So of course, I put the other novel on the side, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna write this. And I found myself going on this crazy journey with food. So the way I wrote the novel is sometimes when I got stuck, I would just open the fridge, and I would find something in the fridge, so I would find a cauliflower, and I would sit with the cauliflower in my lap, and I would just stare at it for hours, until a whole part of the plot would reveal itself just by staring at the cauliflower. Or a few weeks later, I'd be stuck again, so I'd open the fridge, I would find a bag of spinach. I'd be like, oh, bag of spinach. And I'd put the bag of spinach under my pillow. And I'd sleep on it. And eventually, there'd be this crazy plot, involving spinach. And I was like, oh, that is good, And other crazy things happened, which I'm not going to tell you about. And then I found myself just experimenting with food, just tasting everything and mixing everything and creating all kinds of what would happen if you mix beans and potatoes, and what would happen, I found myself just doing things completely not related to writing a novel, just playing around in the kitchen and trying different things that would never occur to me. It became a creative process on its own, just trying different things and see what happens if you combine them in weird experiments. So as I was doing this, people would ask me, what are you working on? And I would tell them a little bit about the novel, tell them the basic premise. And they would say, oh, does it come with recipes? And I would say, no, it doesn't come with recipes. Because I didn't want to include the recipes in the book, because I thought it would interrupt the reading experience. I wanted the reader to be engaged in the story and not focused on recipes and cooking and all of that. But this question kept popping up. Each time I would tell somebody about the novel, they'd be like, does it come with recipes? And I would be like, no, I don't want to put recipes in the book. So eventually I figured I have to find a way to say yes to that question. But I don't want to put the recipes in the book. So what I did, I developed special recipes that are special to this novel. And I put them in a mailing list so people can, if they want, they can sign up to this mailing list, and they are emailed a recipe once a week over many, many weeks. And these recipes, they're not just recipes. So you get a picture, you get a video of me actually making the food, and you get explanation about the relevance, like why is this food relevant to the story, what is the significance, why did I choose this recipe for the story, not some other recipe. So my hope is that it becomes not just a book, but a living experience. You can read the book, and you can also make the food and try it out. And so I always tell people, you can have this book, and you can eat it too.
That's